It's time, guys. It's time. The date has finally rolled around. It is January 21st. I just went and got this morning. If you watched my last little vlog video, you would have seen me going to get this. I'm literally just picking up like right where I left off there. This video is gonna be me reading none other than Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. If you're not familiar with the series, I'll give you just a little bit of a rundown. This is the third book in the series, and it follows Violet, who goes to this war college, and there's dragons, and there's romance, and there's obviously like war and that kind of stuff going on. Very intense, love it, fantasy romance. I ate the first book up whenever it came out. I think I gave it 5 stars, I'm pretty sure. I read the second one, Iron Flame, like the beginning of last year, I think, around that time. So it's been a hot minute, been waiting for this for a while. I unfortunately did not get the special edition from Target that I wanted to get, but I did get the normal one, and it still has all the sprayed edges and stuff. It looks pretty still, so she's a slay. I am very scared for the contents of this book. Like, just thinking about it, oh my gosh. I literally have no idea what's gonna happen. I feel like there's gonna be some crazy shit that's gonna go down. But yeah, I don't really know. If you know how the last book ended, if you know that this is like very highly anticipated. It left on a huge cliffhanger. This is gonna be, I think, for the most part, a non-spoiler reading vlog. I think I'll probably do like a little spoiler section at the end of the video for those who have read it or just don't care about spoilers. I probably won't really start it until tonight, just because I have like schoolwork and stuff to do. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I hope that this is a 5 stars. I really, really hope. That would be amazing. I kind of have high expectations just because the first 2 were really good. But who knows? Who knows what lies within these pages? Like, I feel like I'm not ready. There's been so many theories and so much stuff like going around about what's gonna happen in this book. And I don't know, I'm ready. I'm just along for the ride. I'm ready to figure out what happens. I will update you guys later, maybe tonight or probably tomorrow at some point. I do unfortunately have classes like all day tomorrow, so it might be a while until I update you again. I'm really excited, looking forward to it. Let's see what Onyx Storm has to offer. Okay guys, it is the next day. It's Wednesday, and I've gotten a little bit into Onyx Storm at this point. I'm about 85 pages in, and oh my gosh, so far so good. Things have happened, romance has happened. I'm so worried, guys. I'm so worried. I feel like my brain is just now catching up on like everything that happened in Iron Flame, because like I kind of forgot a lot of stuff because, you know, it's been a while since I've read that, but gotten caught up on those kinds of things. You know, it just feels like so easy to slip back into this world and to read about these characters and what's happening and what they're going through. I don't have many other updates besides that because I'm not like that far into it yet. I'm also trying to like give you guys updates without like spoiling very many things. I'm currently at a part where I'm very concerned. I think everything's gonna be okay because they wouldn't like kill off this character, but they're kind of in like a battle right now, so things are very tense. So yeah, that's how things are going right now. I feel this is only the beginning of the emotional turmoil, so I will keep you guys updated. Hello guys. Okay. Okay, I am now like 145 pages into Onyx Storm. I apologize for the glare with my glasses. It's kind of weird, but I'm a pretty decent chunk into Onyx Storm now. I'm on like day 3 of reading it, Oh my gosh. It's so, oh my gosh. I just want to like sit and read the whole thing, but unfortunately I can't do that because I have classes and schoolwork that I have to do. But I've been reading it in every spare moment that I can. Oh my gosh. I feel like there's hints of one of like the popular theories that I've seen going around. I feel like there's hints that maybe that's true. So I'm really, and even if it's not, there's something very suspicious about something that's going on. So I'm like, like, where's that gonna go? Because obviously it's important and she wants us to be thinking about it. So I feel like there's a little bit of foreshadowing, like something's going on. Something's not adding up. Violet, the main character, is like working on figuring stuff out, so I feel like we'll probably like figure stuff out along with her, is how I think this is gonna kind of be written, because she's like doing her own research and stuff while all of this is going on. So that's interesting. The romance is, I don't know. It's interesting because like of what the two characters are going through, and oh my gosh, yeah. And now like they can't like be together for a kind of a weird reason, and I wasn't expecting that to like happen at all. So I think that's very interesting. I don't know like how that's gonna affect the plot and like their relationship, so I'm curious to see where that goes as well. It is Thursday, so I don't have classes tomorrow, so hopefully I can stay up later tonight reading and get another good chunk of it done. I also kind of like, I low-key hate the formatting of this book. Like, I mean, they're all like this, but like the pages are so like, there's like no margins. It's just like, it's just fully words, just all like, let me see if I can find, like, look at this page. Like it's just words to like the very bottom, like hello, and then there's like barely any space at the top. So she's very dense, but I'm enjoying it. It feels good to be back in this world. I'm still worried. Like I said last time, I'm just so, I know it's gonna be devastating. And I talked to one of my friends that has already finished reading it, and she said that it also ended on a cliffhanger. So I'm like, I'm just like, this isn't gonna end well. So yeah, only 145 pages in. Nothing too traumatizing has happened yet, but I'm waiting for it. I'm ready for it. Hello, I thought I would film a little intermission from the Onyx Storm updates. I'm currently at Barnes & Noble, my favorite place ever, and I'm going in to look for a book that I need for my English class. So hopefully they have it. I feel like they should have it. If not, then I guess I'm just gonna do some browsing, but I'm not gonna buy anything else. Only that book if they have it. But yeah, thought I would just film a little intermission, put a little bit of extra vlog in here that's not just me like sitting and talking and updating you guys. So I will see you inside. I totally forgot to update you guys again after I left Barnes & Noble, but they unfortunately did not have the book that I was looking for, so I just ordered it on Amazon, so it'll be here in like 2 days, and then I can start reading it for my class. I just walked around a little bit, looked around, of course ended up adding some more books to my want to read list, to my TBR. I haven't read any more of Onyx Storm. I've just been like doing schoolwork and stuff. Just uploaded a video today too, a little vlog that I filmed this past weekend. I haven't really read much more of this, but like I said earlier, I don't have any classes tomorrow, so I can stay up later reading and getting a good chunk of it done, hopefully. So yeah. Hi guys, I am here to give you a little bit of an update. Last night I read quite a bit. That video clip you saw of me was me in absolute shock because of course they're like going on another mission and everything just like goes to shit. Like my jaw was literally dropping. People were dying. That's all I'm gonna say. And now I've obviously read more. I'm currently on chapter 27 and they're like on another mission elsewhere, like, you know, trying to figure stuff out, do their thing, and again everything is just going horribly, like the worst it possibly could go. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how they fix this one. And if anybody else dies. Well, actually somebody already did die again, but that's just kind of every chapter in this book. No crazy emotional trauma yet. There was a really sad part that I read last night, I think it was, that I just like, oh, like my heart was just like, oh, you know, but I didn't cry or anything, but nothing like, I don't know. Nothing like unforgivable has happened yet, so I'm still prepared for the worst. I'm expecting the worst to happen, honestly. I am getting ready to go to a basketball game, hence the shirt. So I'll probably just end up reading more later tonight, and then I'll update you guys again tomorrow. So yeah, pray for me. I've updated you guys. It's been a few days. I read quite a bit more over the weekend. I only have like this much left now, like a little over 100 pages or so left. And I don't know, oh my gosh, like things at this point, I'm like, how do we only have this much left? How do we only have this much left? Because so much still needs to happen. So much needs to be solved and fixed that I'm like, there's no way. Like, I feel like this is just gonna end on another horrible cliffhanger. Things have happened since I last talked to you guys. I don't trust anyone. I don't, like, there's somebody is like clearly betraying them, but I literally don't know who it is. I have like a few guesses maybe, but I don't know. I don't really think that they're right. I hope they're not right. So it's like somebody's betraying them. Something horrible is happening. Everything is not going very well. So I'm like, how are we gonna fix this at this point? Like, yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't know. I am still very concerned for all these characters. It's probably still gonna take me a few days to finish the rest of it just because I have midterms this week, so I have to study and like do all that stuff, and I have a lot of other stuff to do as well and like projects to work on, so it'll probably take me a few days to wrap this up. But when I do, I'll talk with you guys, and then I'll probably do, I think I'm gonna do like a spoiler section at the end of the video, and I'll make it very clear like this is when the spoilers start, so that way if you haven't read it or you like don't want spoilers, then you can stop watching there. But I think that's what the plan is. I don't know how to feel, guys. I don't know. Like, yeah. I'll check back in with you guys later once I've finished it or read some more. All right, I have just a little update for you guys. I read some last night. I have less than 100 pages left. This is all I have left. This is it. That's it. And the crying started last night. I shed a few tears. It wasn't like full-on cry, like sobbing or anything, but something happened that I was not expecting. It was so sudden, and it was just very sad, but like, I don't know, like, I like can't articulate my thoughts. I don't know. But less than 100 pages left. I don't know. I'm honestly surprised that I haven't cried more, but I feel like the end of this is I feel like it's gonna get me. So stick around and find out. We'll see if I end up absolutely sobbing at the end of this or not. But yeah, a few tears have been shed at this point. I'm not looking forward to the end of this. Like I am, but like I'm not ready. Okay, it is officially time to do a little wrap up. Discuss my thoughts and my feelings and everything. This is the point where I'm gonna like go into spoilers and just like go into detail about everything that happens. So if you haven't read the book yet, or you don't want spoilers, or what, you know, whatever, then you can just stop watching the video now, because I will be going into detail, spoilers, everything that happens. I will be discussing it. So now's the time to leave if you don't want to hear spoilers. But otherwise, for those of you who do want to hear my thoughts, keep watching. I finished Onyx Storm a few days ago now. I've sat with it. I've written out my thoughts. I have my journal here that we are going to use and reference. I ended up giving it a 4.5 stars because, I don't know, like there were a few things that felt like they were missing, or like, I don't know, it wasn't, it's so hard with books like these because they're so hyped up, and so you go into it with such high expectations, and when it doesn't like completely meet those expectations, then it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, like granted this was still, I think, a really good book. I really enjoyed it. I'm here for a fun time, so like I'm not gonna be like super critical about like the things that happen in this book. I don't know, it's fantasy romance. It's a fun time. I'm not here to like dissect every little plot point and like potential plot hole in theory. So that's just like my general thoughts. 4.5 stars, really good, really enjoyed the romance, the plot, the characters, like the character development I think was really interesting. So yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts. Now let's just get into discussion of what happened in this book. One thing that like kind of annoyed me, and like I thought that maybe would be solved in this book but it wasn't, was Violet's like issues with her powers. Like I just need her to figure it out. I need her to figure it out. I need her to like not have to rely on the conduit. Like I literally said that at the beginning. I was like, she can't be relying on this the whole book, like for her whole life. Like she needs to figure out her powers, and obviously that became sort of a dilemma at the end whenever it broke and she was fighting the main like villain girl. So like I really thought that maybe she would figure that out in this book, but that didn't happen, so that was kind of annoying a little bit. I really liked the plot point that we got with Violet and her hair, and like the Venom girl, I can't remember her name, I don't even know how to pronounce it, I'm not even gonna try. But the main like villain having the silver hair as well, and like her trying to figure out that throughout the whole book. And Rebecca made it very clear, I feel like in the beginning of the book, that that was going to be an important part of the plot. So I kind of had that in the back of my mind the whole time. I had a few theories. I wasn't sure about some of them. I thought it was really interesting how a lot of the marked ones, like Xaden and Garrick, and Liam, they even mentioned, have like second signets. I don't really know, like, she didn't really talk about it much after that, so I'm kind of curious like why that is. Maybe I just missed it, but like that was brought up like once and then like never again really. But I kind of wanted more of that. Like, why do a lot of them have second signets? Like, because it's obviously a very rare thing. Like, it's made out to be a very rare thing, but then all of a sudden, like, all of them, I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them have second signets. Even Imogen, which we find out later at the end, has a second signet as well. So it's kind of like, what's behind that? What is the reason for that? I really want to know. Maybe she'll reveal that in the next book. When we find out that like none of them are able to sense the venom that might be like within the orders and like at the war college, I thought that was really interesting, and that like changed a lot of things, and it made it very clear that like someone was betraying them. I thought that the theory of Violet's dad being Venom was maybe potentially true because of that. Like, if they couldn't sense it, then maybe there's a possibility that he turned Venom and that's like why he died, and you know, all that stuff happened. Again, we still didn't really get any answers about that, so like, I don't know. I thought that the dilemma with Xaden being like a professor and then him not being able to like be with Violet was kind of random. I think that part made their relationship interesting, I guess. Like, it added some conflict in there because they're already in a relationship, so it's not like there's like conflict within that. So I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know if I loved it, but I appreciate that she did that because it made their characters and their relationship more interesting. One thing that I really liked in this book is like, I feel like we get more emphasis on the dragons in this book, and like the dragons' relationship with the writers, and obviously we get to see like the 7th breed of dragon, like Andarna's kind. We get to see them, we get to see new types of dragons, and I literally cried when Andarna left. Like, that was just, it was so, I don't know, like, I didn't realize like how connected I was to the dragon's characters until that point, and she was leaving, and I was like, there's no way this is actually happening. Like, tears were being shed. It was so, I don't know, I feel like the way she wrote it was just so good. It was so emotional, and I feel like I took her for granted. I feel like I took Andarna for granted. I didn't expect that to happen, and I didn't expect to like be crying over that, but I did. My favorite characters literally in this book were the dragons and Riddick. Like, those are my favorite characters. Let's be honest. I also, like, speaking of like emphasis on certain characters and whatnot, I got really concerned about Riddick. I feel like she was writing about him more, and I feel like I notice when authors do this and they'll like put an emphasis on a character and write about them and like kind of like build their relationship with like the main character or something, because they're gonna kill him off and they want it to be like horrible and emotional. So I was really worried about him this entire book. I was like, she's gonna kill him off, he's gonna die, it's gonna be horrible and really sad, and I'm gonna sob. There was like the death scare with Riddick whenever they were on one of the aisles and he like got stabbed in the side, but not really, and that really scared me. I literally was ready to start like absolutely sobbing. And then when he was like, I can't remember what she said something, and then he was like, yeah, I love you too. I literally, like, their friendship, and I just love him. Like, I love how much he cares about everybody, and I love the depth of his character, and how, and this one we really, like, there's a few times where he's like, yeah, I'm like the funny character, but don't like underestimate me. I still have feelings. I'm like, you know, a badass. So I really liked that. I really liked getting to see that side of him. I loved that we got to see like how Violet's dad wrote all of those books for her, but I feel like we saw that, and then again, that's another thing that like kind of fell off. Like we didn't, after she went to the Isles and got all of those books, like that was kind of it. Like she would use some information from them to help like her and her squad while they were on the mission, but like I felt like there was going to be more information out of those, and like I thought that that would be like a bigger plot point. I thought it was going to reveal something bigger than what it did, so that was like a little bit disappointing. I thought that like my theory originally was that like Violet's dad had like lived in Umbriel or where, like whatever that isle was where they all had like the silver hair. I thought that maybe he was like from there secretly, or like lived there for a while, and like that's why she had hair like that, and like that she had lived there, like was born there or something, and then they came to the continent like secretly. But that's not really what happened, I guess. He, like Violet's dad, like dedicated her or whatever, which I still don't completely understand. Like I just have a lot of questions about why. Like why is this happening? Why did he do that? Why is Violet, like why was Violet's mom like so upset about that? Like why did, like I don't know, maybe I just missed things and details because again, like I said, I'm kind of just here for a fun time, so like I don't know, I don't like pay that much attention to all those small details, so maybe I missed it. If I did and you read it, let me know. But yeah, I kind of was a little bit like, I still have questions about that. The deaths in this book were like, they were sad, but I wasn't expecting them. Obviously one of their squad mates, Traeger, however you say his name, died when they were on the island, one of the islands, and that was sad. I didn't cry, but I felt sad for like Kat and all of them, because like I don't know, again, it just wasn't like a death that I was expecting, because I feel like he was kind of a side character, so like it wasn't like that heartbreaking, but I still like cared about him and like all the other characters, and they were sad about it obviously, so like I felt a little bit sad. And then Quinn's death, let's talk about that. I did cry. I didn't like sob or anything, but I did shed some tears. That was, I think that the way that she wrote that was perfect, because like again, not a character that I like would think, like that I would think about and would think that I would be sad if they died, but because it was written from Imogen's point of view and like Quinn was literally her best friend, it was so heartbreaking. I think the way that she did that was perfect, and it was really sad. It just reminds you that like nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. I was really scared for the squad the whole time, like the main like 5 or 6 of them that are in Violet's squad, and like Rhiannon, really concerned about them the whole time, but luckily they're all fine for right now. But you know, we'll see how that goes in the next book. I like around like the second half of this book, like once we hit like the 50% mark, I was so concerned about like how anything would get better and how they were going to solve all of these problems that they had. Like it seemed like every time that they went on like a little quest or like were trying to get something done, everything would just go as horribly as possible. My faith was dwindling. It was not, I had no idea how they were going to solve any of their problems. Obviously like at the very end when they're battling in Aricia, the Irids come back and Andarna comes back, and I like, that made me so happy that she was back. But also like I feel like the end is kind of vague about that. Like I don't know where she's at now. Like did she just come back to help them with the battle and then left again? Like what's gonna happen with that? So I really need to know. I need to know what's gonna happen with that. Obviously like everything worked out. Violet did defeat the main Venom girl with help from Eric. He gave her like this like stone dagger thing that was like from the temple, and then that could kill the Venom girl because she was like a priestess or something previously. Like, I don't know. The details, it's fine. Okay. And then the very end, like the very last page, we find out that Violet and Xaden are now married, apparently. And Violet doesn't remember any of it, and apparently Imogen wiped her memory, which I'm like, okay, that's kind of crazy. Like, they got married, whatever. And then Xaden is gone. So we have no idea where he's at, no idea what he's doing. He obviously has like turned Morven, and like I don't know exactly what stage he's at, but he obviously like channeled more in the battle, so clearly he can't be doing well. So we still have that problem to solve. We still have to figure that out. That's still an issue. So nobody knows where he's at. Violet doesn't know where he's at, but they're married apparently, so I guess that means that Violet now is going to be like ruling over Tyrrendor. That should be really interesting. I don't know. I think that'll be really interesting to see what happens, since she's technically still like a student at the War College, but I think that would mean that she would be like ruling over Tyrrendor, like since she's married to Xaden, who's the Duke. Like I feel like now that would be her responsibility. So I really am curious to see what happens with that. Oh my gosh, one thing that confused me the most is the whole thing with like Xaden's like brother, I guess like Venom brother. I don't like, that part confused me so much. And then all of a sudden we get the name of like the sage or whatever, Berwin, but I don't know like who is that? I don't know. She started talking about him like we should know about him and who he is and like who the brother is, but I don't, like, am I just dumb? Did I again just like miss a detail? I don't know. Like, who's Xaden's brother? Like, obviously it's not like his real brother, but like, what? Like, I'm really confused about that. Like, are we supposed to know who that is and what's going on with that? Or was that supposed to be like a mystery? That's something that I still have a lot of questions about as well. But honestly, that's all my thoughts for right now, I think. Overall, I did really enjoy it. It was a fun time. I'm gonna just try to like block out my entire memory of this until the next one comes out, because how am I supposed to like just move on with my life after reading this and having that cliffhanger? And we're probably not gonna get the next one for like at least another year, if not longer. Like, how am I supposed to wait that long? How am I supposed to go about my everyday life without knowing what happens to these characters? I don't know. So I'm just gonna try to like forget about it. Like, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. That's all my thoughts and feelings. If you've read the book, let me know what your thoughts are as well. I would love to hear them and discuss. If you've watched this long into the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I would love it if you liked or commented or subscribed or, you know, any of those things. If you want to, totally fine. I love that. My next video will probably be like a little January reading wrap up, so stay tuned for that. Looking forward to filming that. That's all I have for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week.